Gentlemen, if you're over 50, I need you to pay attention because what I'm about to say could change your life. If you've ever experienced the frustration of getting hard but losing your erection too soon, you're definitely not alone. In fact, it's a problem that many men face, especially as they age. The shocking part? It's not your testosterone, your blood flow, or even your age that's to blame for this. No. It's something far simpler and more common, a mistake many men make without even realizing it. This mistake is the reason why you lose your hardness right when you need it the most during intimacy. But don't worry, I'm about to reveal exactly what this mistake is, why it happens as we age, and most importantly, how to fix it in less than 30 seconds. However, you must stay with me until the end of this video, because if you skip the activation technique I'm going to share, nothing else will work. I promise you, every word in this video matters. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Dr. Mika Hayashi, a board-certified urologist with over a decade of experience helping men reclaim their confidence and restore their intimate lives. Over the years, I've helped thousands of men just like you overcome this very problem. But here's something that might surprise you. Research shows that 67% of men over 50 experience the exact same issue. Yet, less than 10% of them actually understand the real cause behind it. So, why does this happen? Well, your body isn't giving up on you, gentlemen. It just needs the right kind of activation. Once we dig deeper, you'll see that it's all about a specific mechanism in your body, something you may have never thought about before. Stick with me, and I'll show you exactly what that is and how you can fix it. But before we dive into the science behind this, I want to ask you a quick question. If you're struggling with this, drop a comment below right now. Just type, "staying hard," if this resonates with you. Let's break the silence on this together. Now, let's talk about what's actually going on in your body. It all starts with a two-stage process. When you get an erection, your body goes through these stages. And most men only focus on the first one, missing out on what happens in the second stage, the stage where everything falls apart. In the first stage, your brain signals the release of a molecule called nitric oxide. This relaxes the blood vessels in your penis, causing them to dilate. Blood rushes in, and the spongy tissue inside your penis expands, giving you that initial hardness. For most men over 50, stage 1 still works just fine. You still get hard, but it's the second stage that causes the problem. Here's the issue. Getting the blood into your penis isn't enough. You need to trap that blood inside to maintain your erection. That's where your support muscles come in. You have specialized muscles at the base of your penis, called the isocavernosus and bulbospongiosus muscles. These muscles act as clamps. They compress the veins that normally drain blood away from your penis, trapping it inside. Without this, the blood leaks back out, and your erection softens. Think of it like a water balloon. When you fill it up with water, or blood, in this case, you want to tie a knot at the end so it doesn't leak. These support muscles are like that knot. And here's the issue, after 50 these muscles lose their strength and tone. When you were in your 20 seconds and 30 seconds, these muscles worked automatically. They contracted naturally, and you didn't have to think about it. But as you age, especially after 50, they become sluggish. They don't engage as quickly or as strongly. Unless you deliberately activate them, they often don't engage at all. And that's why your erection doesn't last as long as it used to. Studies show that pelvic floor muscle strength decreases by 15 to 20% per decade after 40. This is huge. And when those muscles don't contract properly, the blood rushes in but doesn't stay trapped, causing your erection to fade. So, the key to fixing this isn't just getting blood flow to your penis, it's keeping that blood in. And that's the key difference. You're not struggling to get hard, you're struggling to stay hard. That's the real issue here. And it requires a completely different solution than what you've probably tried before. Let me ask you a few simple questions, and I want you to be completely honest with yourself. Do you get hard initially, but then lose your firmness within just 1 to 3 minutes? Do you find yourself needing constant stimulation to stay hard the moment it stops? Have you noticed your erection fading when you change positions during intimacy? Or even worse, does your erection fade when there's an interruption, like having to stop to put on a condom, or if your focus shifts even slightly? And lastly, Are your morning erections weaker or less frequent than they used to be? If you answered yes to 2 or more of these questions, then you're facing exactly what I've been talking about. This issue isn't about erectile dysfunction, it's about erectile maintenance. Your support muscles aren't activating properly, and that's why you can't keep the blood trapped inside your penis, causing it to soften too quickly. Now, let's talk about why the common solutions you've probably tried haven't worked. Medications like Viagra or Cialis are excellent at helping blood flow into your penis. They work by enhancing nitric oxide, which dilates your blood vessels and increases blood flow. But here's the thing, these medications don't help your muscles trap that blood. They do their job of getting the blood in, but they don't address the issue of keeping it in. And this is why some men find that these pills work great for a while, but then they seem to stop working. The pills are still enhancing blood flow, but your support muscles are still not engaging properly, so the blood leaks back out anyway. That's why, even though your blood flow is fine, your erection still doesn't last. Next, let's talk about testosterone therapy. Unless you have clinically low testosterone levels, below 300 nanograms per deciliter, adding more testosterone isn't going to fix the problem with your pelvic floor muscles. Testosterone is important for libido and overall vitality, but it doesn't directly control whether these muscles contract during an erection. So, increasing testosterone won't solve the underlying issue here. And what about supplements like L-arginine, citrulline, or horny goatweed? These supplements can help boost nitric oxide production and improve blood flow, which is great, but again, they don't activate your support muscles. You've been focusing on one part of the equation, getting blood into your penis, but you've been ignoring the other part, keeping that blood in. I see this happen all the time in my practice. Take my patient, for example. He was 62 years old and had spent over $3,000 on supplements over 2 years. Every bottle that promised a miracle, he bought, but none of them worked. Within the first week of learning the pelvic floor activation technique I'm about to teach you, he looked at me during his follow-up appointment and said, "Dr. Romano, it's like someone flipped a switch. Why didn't anyone tell me this sooner?" And this is the key point you need to understand. Blood flows into your penis just fine, but your support muscles aren't trapping it. This is the problem, and it's a problem that can be fixed with the right technique. But before I teach you that technique, I need to show you the common mistake that most men make. If you don't understand this mistake, you'll keep repeating it, and the technique won't work as effectively. The first mistake is focusing 100% on arousal and blood flow. Most men focus on stimulation, sexy thoughts, getting excited, trying to get the blood flowing, but what they don't realize is that they're neglecting the second stage, the lock. They completely ignore the muscles that trap the blood. So, while blood rushes in beautifully, it leaks back out, and within minutes, the erection fades. The second mistake is timing. Most men wait until they're already aroused to hope their body will respond the way it used to. But by that point, it's too late to prime those muscles. They need to be activated before arousal, not during or after. And the third mistake is assuming your muscles work automatically like they did when you were 25. But the truth is, they don't. Not anymore. Not without deliberate activation. Finally, there's the performance anxiety loop. This is when you start worrying about whether it's going to happen again. You worry that you won't perform, which causes tension in your body. Tension constricts your blood vessels, restricting circulation, and you lose your hardness. Then you worry even more, and the cycle continues. But here's the great news. When you deliberately activate those support muscles before intimacy, you bypass the entire anxiety loop. You're walking into the moment, knowing your body is primed and ready. You're not hoping it will work, you're confident it will. And that confidence, my friends, changes everything. It's not just about avoiding the anxiety spiral. It's about being in full control of your body. So, here's the technique that will make all the difference. It's simple, effective, and you'll feel the difference immediately. This technique takes just 30 to 60 seconds, and you need to do it before intimacy, not during, not after, but before. Think of it like warming up before a workout. You're getting the muscles ready to perform when you need them the most. Step 1. Locate the muscle group. Sit comfortably in a chair, or lie on your back with your knees slightly bent and your feet flat on the floor. Now, imagine you're trying to stop urinating midstream. The sensation you feel, the squeezing and lifting of your pelvic floor muscles, is exactly what we're targeting. You should feel the contraction at the base of your penis and in your perineum. That's the area between your testicles and your anus. If you want to double check, you can place your fingertips gently at the base of your penis. When you contract, you'll feel the tissue firm up slightly under your fingers. That's the area we're focusing on. What not to do? Don't clench your buttocks, tighten your abs, or squeeze your thighs. Keep those muscles relaxed. You're isolating the pelvic floor muscles only. This is crucial because if you're tensing up your entire body, you're not effectively targeting the right muscles. Step 2. The contraction. Once you've located those muscles, contract them firmly. Imagine you're pulling everything up and inward, as if you're trying to lift your pelvic floor towards your belly button. You should feel a distinct tightening at the base of your penis. Hold the contraction for 3 full seconds. Count slowly in your head. 1, 100, 2, 100, 3, 100, and keep breathing normally. Don't hold your breath. Just breathe naturally while maintaining the contraction. Step 3. The release. After 3 seconds, release the contraction completely. Let everything relax for 2 seconds. Don't rush this. The relaxation phase is just as important as the contraction phase because it allows fresh blood to flow back into the muscles and prepares them for the next contraction. Step 4. Repetition. Repeat the cycle contract for 3 seconds, then release for 2 seconds. Do this 8 to 10 times in a row. The whole sequence takes about 40 to 50 seconds. Focus on the quality of each contraction. You want firm, deliberate contractions where you really feel those muscles working. Don't just go through the motions. Engage intentionally. Step 5. Rest phase. After your last repetition, rest for 10 to 15 seconds. Let your body fully relax. Take 2 or 3 deep breaths. Allow everything to settle. Now, here's how you know it worked. You should feel a warm, slightly pumped sensation in the area between your testicles and anus. It's subtle, but it's there. That's the feeling of those muscles being activated and ready for action. So, what just happened? Here's what you did. You sent fresh, oxygen-rich blood to those support muscles, and you activated the nerve pathways that control them. You primed them to respond quickly and powerfully when arousal hits. The next time you get aroused, those muscles will contract automatically. But now, they'll be ready. They'll trap blood immediately and firmly. Think of it like the difference between a loose door hinge and a tight one. When the mechanism is primed, everything just works better. Your erection. Now, let's talk about timing. When should you do this activation? There are a few options, and each one can work for you depending on your lifestyle and your intimacy plans. Option 1. Right before intimacy. This is the most common and effective choice for many men. If you're anticipating intimacy that night, simply take a moment beforehand to activate your support muscles. Go to the bathroom, sit down, and perform the activation sequence. By the time you return to your partner, your muscles will be primed and ready to go. This ensures that when the moment of arousal hits, those muscles will automatically trap the blood, keeping your erection firm and strong. Option 2. Earlier in the day. If you know intimacy is on the horizon, but it's not happening immediately, you can perform the activation an hour or 2 beforehand. The priming effect lasts for several hours, so you'll be prepared when the time comes. This works particularly well if you have an unpredictable schedule or if you simply prefer to get things ready in advance. Option 3. Daily practice. Even on days when intimacy isn't in the cards, it's still beneficial to do this activation once a day. It could be in the morning, before you start your day, or at night before bed, it doesn't matter. Consistency is key. By practicing daily, you'll be building long-term strength in your pelvic floor muscles, and over time, those muscles will start to respond more automatically. Daily activation helps strengthen those muscles to the point where they begin working without conscious effort. Think of it like exercising any other part of your body. The more you strengthen your pelvic floor, the less effort it takes for them to engage when you need them most. Now, I want to address the advanced variation of this technique. After a few weeks of regular practice, when this activation technique starts to feel more natural and your pelvic floor muscles begin to develop some baseline strength, you can take it to the next level. Instead of holding the contraction for just 3 seconds, you can start holding it for a full 10 seconds on the last repetition. This will help build maximum endurance in those muscles and give you even more control over your erections over time. Don't worry if it feels a bit awkward or unfamiliar at first. This is completely normal. These are muscles you probably haven't consciously controlled in decades, but trust me, they'll become second nature quickly. Within a week or so, you'll be able to do this activation without even thinking about it, and the results will start to speak for themselves. What can you realistically expect from using this technique? I want to be completely transparent about the timeline, so you know what to expect. Most men notice a difference the very first time they try this. It's not something that takes weeks or months to feel. You can feel the difference the same day. Your erection will feel heavier, denser, and more substantial. It won't deflate the moment stimulation stops. You can change positions, take a break, or even have a short conversation, and your erection will stay firm. By the end of the first week, here's what typically happens. You start trusting your body again. There's less anxiety before intimacy, because you know you have a tool that works. You might even find yourself experiencing more spontaneous arousal throughout the day. This is a sign that your body is responding differently, and it's something many men experience when they start to retrain their pelvic floor muscles. But the improvements don't stop there. Will feel denser, heavier, and more substantial. Let me tell you a story about one of my patients who experienced this transformation. He was 67 years old and had completely given up on intimacy. He genuinely believed that chapter of his life was over. His wife had accepted it too, assuming he'd just lost interest. And honestly, she had made peace with it. But after just 6 weeks of practicing this activation technique consistently, he came back for his follow-up appointment, and I could see the difference in him before he even said a word. He looked lighter, more confident. He told me, "Dr. Romano, I feel 45 again." He said his wife asked him what medication he was taking, and when he told her it was just a 30-second exercise, she didn't believe him at first. Their relationship is closer than it's been in years, not just physically, but emotionally. When intimacy is off the table, it creates distance in ways you don't even realize until it comes back. This kind of transformation is something I see regularly in my practice. It's exactly why I'm so passionate about teaching this technique. Now, here's what surprises most men. The benefits go beyond erections. As you strengthen your pelvic floor, you'll notice improvements in bladder control. Many men report fewer bathroom trips, fewer sudden urges, and sleeping through the night again, which results in better energy and mood. You might also experience stronger, more intense orgasms. The pelvic floor muscles that help trap blood during an erection also contract during orgasm. And stronger muscles mean more powerful contractions, leading to more intense sensations. But that's not all. You'll also be supporting your prostate health. A well-functioning pelvic floor reduces inflammation and promotes healthy circulation, supporting your prostate's overall function. It's a huge plus for long-term health. And many men overlook this aspect of pelvic health. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, this technique will give you a confidence boost that will affect every area of your life. When you feel confident in your body, it radiates outward. You stand taller, engage more with others, and experience life with a renewed sense of self-assurance. This is the kind of transformation that extends beyond just intimacy. It positively impacts your overall well-being. By the 2nd or 3rd month of practicing this technique, it becomes second nature. You won't even have to think about it anymore. Your pelvic floor muscles will be strong, responsive, and automatic. Intimacy will no longer be something you worry about. It will become something you genuinely look forward to. That shift from anxiety to anticipation is life-changing, and I promise you, once you experience it, you won't ever want to go back. I want to tell you about another patient. He was in his late 60s and had resigned himself to the idea that his intimate life was over. His wife was on the same page, having accepted the situation. But after just 6 weeks of daily practice with this activation technique, he came in for his follow-up, and he was a different man. Not just physically, but emotionally as well. His wife